Chiefs, did you already start recording? You need to say action. Good afternoon, monitored citizens. You're tuned in to the Majority Report, where breaking news is broken and truth hides between the headlines. In this weekend's top headlines, millions across all 50 US states march in No Kings protests against Trump. Unfortunately, No Kings protesters are demanding freedom from the wrong monarch. They chant against Trump, not realizing the real throne sits in the boardroom of BlackRock, a rebellion conveniently sponsored by the same financiers who build empires out of outrage. Well played, CIA. The MKUltra program beta test is now complete. Speaking of fascism, Trump officially designates Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. Apparently, communists have once again looped themselves into a fascist, anti-fascist movement. Same communist state propaganda, same architecture of control, the system's perfect terroristic scapegoat. Hungary follows Trump's lead, declaring Antifa a terrorist group. Global coordination? It sounds like the globalists are at it again. Speaking of globalists, the Open Society was seeded by Hungarian-born Jewish financier George Soros. Open Society recently issued a statement on X stating George Soros does not fund #Antifa. Maybe the hedge funder doesn't cut the checks directly, just built the system the protests form in. From resisting tyrannical fascism to financing its next version, with interest. Way to stay true to a stereotype, George. Open Society insists it doesn't bankroll Antifa, it just sponsors social resilience. They don't fund the fires, they just hand out the Molotov cocktails. In other news, global NGOs condemn authoritarianism while lobbying to suppress online speech. Nothing says liberty like mandating the monitoring of speech by unelected authorities that control mainstream media and fact-checking resources. Speaking of ethics, the IMF claims countries lack a regulatory ethical foundation for AI. That's adorable. The same institution that bankrupted nations now worries about ethics in algorithms. Obviously, the world's moral compass should be recalibrated by global debt architects. In more AI news, US and UK declined to sign the Paris Inclusive AI Declaration. Probably because inclusive gets in the way of exclusive ownership of the algorithm and digital colonization. In related headlines, Europe risks becoming a tech colony unless it accelerates AI development. So the plan to avoid being colonized by technology is to build a bigger colonial army of technology. Obviously, the only way to escape digital servitude is to perfect the tools of servitude themselves. Europe fears being turned into a tech colony, so it's racing to colonize itself first. Meanwhile, the US Senate strikes AI regulation ban from the Trump mega bill. Let's not regulate AI, because the freedom to monitor everyone equally. Meanwhile, tech giants seek a 10-year freeze on state AI rules. Apparently, it will only take 1 decade for humanity to realize they have been captured in the beast system. In other headlines, dangerous cracks in US democracy pillars, free elections, rule of law, and anti-corruption. The pillars are cracking so transparently you can see the hidden camera feed. Europe vows to regulate so hard it will innovate itself into submission. And finally, technocracy's gentle factory reset of humanity. Technocrats say the Great Reset will improve democracy's user experience. Probably the same way tech companies improve privacy, by quietly deleting it. They promise democracy will run smoother once they uninstall free will. This is Sue, reporting from the lab, reminding you, if everything you believe is false, the disinformation program is complete. Chiefs, you can stop recording now. You need to say cut.